Hello, welcome to my channel Cat's Diamond Painting, or welcome back if you've joined me here before. If this is your first time watching one of my videos and you enjoy what I'm about to show you, please do consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. This is a new channel. I'm hoping to put out more and more content along these lines and along the lines of the other things that you'll see on my channel so far. So I hope you'll join me for the journey. I am here today to do a post review of this canvas here beneath my hands, and also to kit it down. And by kitting down, what I mean is I currently have all the drills that I used for this diamond painting kitted up in one of my storage boxes, and I'm going to show you how I take that all apart to return my storage boxes to being free for use for another painting. So the painting I have to show you here today is called In Santorini. It is a diamond painting by Diamond Art Club. The artist is called Ivalo Nikolov. I'm sure I have mispronounced that. I apologise. So without further ado, here is the painting. Let's just check that's all in frame. Just about. Okay, here we have it. So this is a 61 by 46 centimetre painting, which makes it on the small side for what I personally tend to do. I like detailed paintings with lots of stuff going on in them. So I do tend to gravitate towards larger paintings. So this is a small to medium. And I love it. I say that every time I do one of these post reviews. But I do love all of the diamond paintings I've created so far. So if anyone is not aware, Santorini is a Greek island, and it's one that I happen to have visited and therefore have a soft spot for, and that was one of my reasons for choosing this painting. Another is just that I love the art. I think it's really pretty. And also I love the colour palette of this painting. So blue is one of my favourite colours, purple is one of my favourite colours, and you've got loads and loads of blue and then lots of pinky purpley tones over here in the buildings of Santorini. It's one of those paintings where I really love the tricks that your eyes play on you with light, and that really comes through. So what I mean by that is, if you're familiar with Santorini, it's really famous for the buildings having these blue roofs and then the buildings being white, and you get this amazing contrast on a sunny day. But because this painting is clearly set at maybe an evening sunset kind of time of day, and you've got that orangey light glowing over the town, what that means is actually all the white buildings are made up of purple and pink drills and peachy colours. And I don't know why, it really appeals to me. I love the way that our eyes view colour, and I know that these buildings are white in real life, so in my head they're white, but actually they're not when that light shines on them. Not sure if that's making any kind of sense. But anyway, so this painting was a great mixture of colour blocking and confetti. By colour blocking, I mean big blocks of the same colour. So you'll see over here in the sky and the sea, there's a lot of blue. I mean, there are actually a few shades of blue mixed in, but there would still be sections where there was quite a lot of one shade of drill that I was going to be placing. But there was also a surprising amount of confetti, and by confetti I mean that in any particular given spot on the painting you're using lots and lots of different colours. So you're doing, 3 of this drill, 4 of that drill, 2 of that drill, and that gives you detail in paintings. There's 40 colours in this painting, which is a reasonable amount, I think, for a painting of this size, where a lot of the colour palette is similar anyway. And that's what really gives you the detail. So where you've got these rocky bits, because Santorini is built on an island which is like this really steep cliff all around. Actually, when we went there, we had to go up on a cable car to get to the top. So there's this rocky surrounding just below the village, and that really comes across, and the sunlight glowing on it gives it that reddish orange sort of haze. And another thing I liked about this painting, if you're familiar with Diamond Art Club, I do quite a lot of their paintings, and one of their trademarks is to have really clearly defined lines. So lots of sort of black or dark outlines to make the different parts of the painting distinct. And I felt like this painting was quite unusual for Diamond Art Club because it doesn't have that. It's actually got much more soft, muted transitions between colours. And that's obviously true to the art. And I really like that they can flex their style like that they've chosen to make this piece of art. And it is a much softer, hazier piece without clearly defined transitions between colours. And that's come across really beautifully, even though it's maybe not quite so much their normal style. Another thing to mention is just that it's a round drill painting. I do personally have a preference for square paintings, but I tend to always have one round painting on the go. So after I've kitted this down, I will be kitting up my next round painting. So without further ado, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a closer pan over the painting so you can really see the detail, and then I will get on with kitting down my drills. Okay, so here are my leftover drills. I'm just going to take out the bits and bobs. So this is my release paper that I use just to cover a row that I'm going to work on, and then a little bit of overlap where the plastic cover can come over it. So put them to one side. The sticker, which I'll put in a logbook. And this is where I just... so when you get a Diamond Art Club piece, you will get a label sheet in there. And in the original format, these were the sticky labels that I've put on my drill containers, and a nice picture of the piece of art. But what I do when I first open a Diamond Art Club kit is I use my printer copier machine to copy that. And then I have this as a reference and a key to use while I'm getting used to the drill symbols. So the first thing I'm going to do is use this to just make a note of all of the DMC colour codes, which is these numbers along here, which hopefully you can see. So I'm going to make a note of those on my spreadsheet. So I keep a spreadsheet that contains the details of all the DMC colour codes that I have left over from kits that I've done. I do keep my leftover drills just because I live in the UK. I buy a lot of paintings from companies over in the US, and it takes a while to get drills over to me. So if I were to run out of drills when I was nearing the end of a kit and have to wait to get them sent over, that would be quite frustrating. Even though I know that with a company like Diamond Art Club, I would be covered by their guarantee and they'd send me those drills. I'd hate to have to wait a couple of weeks for drills when I was just on the point of finishing a kit. So I like to keep them, and it just gives me a little bit of reassurance that hopefully I might have the colour that I need, and then we're good. So let me move this to one side and bring in my laptop. Where I am going to quickly type those out. I won't bother filming this because it's not very interesting for you. Okay, so I've added all of my DMC colour codes to my spreadsheet, And I should say the reason why I keep a spreadsheet like this is because it's quite a quick and easy job to do. And what that then gives me is an easy list of all the colours that I have. So rather than going and looking through my excess drill storage, if I want to know if I've got a particular colour I need, I can just pull up a spreadsheet and have a look. So I've got them all down this side, and what I'm going to do is scroll to the top and use the inbuilt filter tool in Excel to just sort all of the DMC colour codes in ascending order. And what I can then do is go through and see which ones on here are duplicated. And if I have entered a colour like this one here, DMC 155, that I had in this painting, and it already appears on the spreadsheet, then I know I already have a bag of those drills to find and put my spares from this painting in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and highlight any duplicates, because that's what I'm going to start with my dekitting process first. So let me do that now. Okay, so it turned out there were absolutely loads of colours in this painting that I already had. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my super sophisticated, very professional looking spare drill storage, which, as you can see, is just a load of baggies in a bigger plastic bag. I know lots of people have really nice, pretty ways of storing their drills, and at some point in the future I might look at investing in a different kind of storage. At the moment this works fine for me because I keep drills from different companies separate, because they can often have quite a different look to them. So if I had, say, a nice box with different bags in, I'd need so many different ones that this works fine for me for now. But that said, this is now the worst part, is that I've got my spreadsheet to my left here, and I now need to find the drills, the bags for the drills that were in this painting that I have previously dekitted from other paintings. So I'm going to time lapse this because it's not going to be very interesting for either of us. Here we go. And I'm just coming back in the middle of what I'm doing here to explain how I'm finding these. On my spreadsheet, I have listed a colour description. So that helps me to just look for them and find them amongst this mess. The other thing is that some colours are just getting quite familiar to me, having done quite a few paintings. There's 550. So I can kind of spot them. I know what colour to look for amongst all of these. Okay, so I have been through them all. I have deleted the lines on my spreadsheet where it was marking that there was a duplicate, so I know which ones I've found and which ones I still have to find. I couldn't find one of them, so I've messed up somewhere along the way, but that's fine. We'll just start a new bag for that colour. It's not worth digging through them all for ages. And like I say, I'm not advertising this as some brilliant system. It's what works for me because it's cheap and it's easy and it works with the way my brain processes these things. There's plenty of other ways to organise drill storage if this is what you want to do. But this is just one way. So I am going to empty out the ones that I have found bags for. And I'm going to do this over a tray just so that I've got that there in case any drop. And let me find something to add sticky labels to. I'll use this. So I'll put the sticky labels that I take off my containers on here. So $9.39. So how's everyone doing today? I'd love to know where people who have subscribed to this channel or people who are watching this video are from. If the YouTube algorithm has brought you to me because you are fellow UK people, or Europe, or maybe a bit further afield, because in particular, when the paintings that I am using are Diamond Art Club, which are an American company, maybe I have people here from over the pond, as we like to call it. So actually, I'm going to try doing it the other way this time and tip them out and then into the bag. That might be better. This tray is one I have recently received that I managed to get hold of from Mooney Made, who are an American based, I think they're in Texas, Etsy company, so small business, which I like to shop at small businesses if I can. And they do these fabulous 3D printed diamond painting trays. They are very, very, very popular. So they release at what is midnight UK time on Wednesdays generally, I believe it is. And I decided a couple of weeks ago, well, a few weeks ago now, that I was going to try and get some. So I logged on at midnight. All these beautiful trays started appearing, and I was looking at the colours and trying to choose what I wanted. And oh my goodness, they sold out quickly. So I ended up getting 2 trays, which was what I'd wanted, so I could try both sizes that they offer. But I mean, I didn't get the colours that I most wanted. I got the ones that sold out a bit slower because I mean, everything went within about 5 minutes. It was really, really impressive how popular this company obviously is. But I do like them a lot, so I'm glad I did it. If you're in the UK, they were quite expensive because the shipping was a lot to get over here. So I think I spent about £40 getting the 2 trays, because about £20 of that was shipping. The trays themselves are actually really reasonable. But I mean, shipping is what it is, isn't it? You can't help that. And I figured if I order from them once and I really like them and I use them, because I'd seen lots of people saying how brilliant they were, so I figured I would like them, then it'd be worth it. So this big tray is really good because it's got these big deep sides and a really good pouring spout. It's actually a little big for me in my workspace, because I work on an easel at the edge of a table, and I sort of balance my tray in the little gap between the easel and where I sit. And I like to have the tray pointing this way because I multi-place vertically. So this one doesn't actually fit very well, but it's going to be really useful for this kind of thing because look how easily that pulls. And the smaller Mooney Made tray is actually still quite a decent sized tray, and it's a really good fit for me and the amount of drills that I like to have in the tray at once. So I'm happy with them. I went for plain trays without stoppers or lids just to save a little bit of money because I don't use those a lot. But I was sent lids with mine. Oh, I've missed a drill in there. Because there was a little note saying she was clearing out inventory. So I got 3 lids. Not 3 lids. I keep saying lids, don't I? I mean tray stoppers. So that was really nice of her. So yeah, this large one is going to be great for this kind of thing. The baggies that I'm using to store these are a combination of the free ones that a lot of companies give away with their toolkits, and also just packs of bags that I found on Amazon. I do actually prefer the ones I've got on Amazon because they're they feel thicker. So same? I was just checking because they looked quite different and I thought maybe the dye lot had shifted too much for me to pop them together, but I think it's fine. What was I saying? Yeah, so the bags that I can get on Amazon, I can get about 200 for £5 or £6. They feel a lot sturdier, so they do up better, and the bag itself doesn't feel as flimsy. So I do prefer to use those. Ooh, saying that, this one now won't do up. There we go. So as you can see, once I've put the work into setting this up, it's actually quite quick depotting them all, which is why I feel like it's worth it for me personally to keep them. Obviously not everyone likes to do this, and that's fine. We all like to do things different ways, but for me it's just great reassurance that I have these. And sometimes you can help people out as well on de-stash groups. So I'm a member of a UK-based Diamond Art Club de-stash group, and a UK-based licensed diamond painting de-stash group. And sometimes people, because they're in the same boat as me, where they'd have to wait a long time to get replacements, might ask if someone has them, or maybe they've bought a painting on de-stash, which means that they don't have Diamond Art Club's warranty for the painting. And actually that applies to me as well, because I've bought a few paintings on de-stash. So it's another good reason for keeping them. But yeah, people share things to make it easier for each other, and that's a nice part of the community, I feel. And these sticky labels that Diamond Art Club sends on newish kits, so kits made within about the last year or so, are really easy to peel off. I mean, you have to pick at it a little bit, but it does then tend to come off the container really easily without leaving any residue, because I really hate it when the pots get all gummed up with residue from the adhesives. I do have a bottle of Goo Gone that I use in that situation, but it's very chemically, it really stinks and makes the bottle smell. So I don't use that if I can avoid it. So with other companies where their sticky labels tend to leave adhesive, I do the trick where I put a bit of washi tape on the container and then put the sticky label on top of that. But I love that I don't need to do that with Diamond Art Club. They always come off. Once you get a nail under a corner of it, it comes straight off. This storage container is one of my favorites as well. It's so I say Elizabeth Ward style because originally there is a company called Elizabeth Ward that makes storage containers just like this. I have to confess that these are rip-off containers that I bought on AliExpress. The reason being, I'm not sure you can even buy the original Elizabeth Ward ones anymore. I think I saw that they were all going out of stock. But even so, buying them here in the UK, you're talking like £40, £50 for a container set, which is quite a lot of money. And if you go on AliExpress, you can buy ones that do the job just as well for £15, £20. And they are a really good system. I like the different size containers. And they've got a really good catch on them. So actually, when we went away recently, I took this painting with me. And when my husband was packing the car, on 2 occasions, he dropped this box. And I was a little bit panicked about what I'd find when I looked inside. But actually, on one occasion, every single container stayed shut. And on the other occasion, just one of the containers that was a little bit looser in the catch did come open, but that was fine because it was just one. And it was still contained with like under the lid of the storage system. So I was able to just pick them all out, and it was a relief because I was nearing the end of finishing this painting and I didn't want to be in a situation where all my drill colours were all mixed up. So I do recommend these if you haven't come across them before. I have 3 sets that have the 4 different size containers in them, and then I can just mix and match for the painting that I'm doing as to whether I need big containers or small containers or whatever. This is going nice and quickly. Yeah, this is one of the baggies that I think came with a Diamond Art Club kit, and it just doesn't want to do up in the same way. Okay, it has gone, but I think that that doesn't have too many more uses in it before I'm going to have to switch it out for another bag. Getting bits of stickers on my hands. I'm hoping I can get this done in time that I can kit up my next project. What am I doing? Getting muddled. Because I normally have 3 or 4 whips or works in progress on the go at once. I prefer squares, as I think I've said, so most of them squares, but I do like to have one round on the go because I do like to mix it up. That's the reason I have so many whips, is I get a bit bored if I work on the same painting for too long. So I'll have several different paintings on the go that have different styles, different colours, different shape drills. And sometimes I'm just in the mood for rounds because they go a bit quicker. Well, quite a lot quicker generally because they're slightly larger than the squares, so you cover the same amount of canvas much quicker. So yeah, I have my next one chosen and all ready to go. I won't say what it is just yet because that will be a future video on the channel. Yeah, hoping to get that done later today as well. Ooh. Get in there with these. Let's pop that in anywhere. So I'm making this in the week of Diamond Art Club's 4th anniversary coming up. So if you are a customer of Diamond Art Club, or if you've heard of them or know anything about what I'm talking about, they are a big US-based company that makes loads and loads of diamond paintings. They're releasing new ones. What am I doing? Getting muddled about which one I'm supposed to be tipping out. They release new paintings all the time. They have lots of really beautiful pieces. They're a licensed art company only, which means that every painting they have legally licensed the art from the artist, which means that they have the right to use it in diamond paintings, and also that the artist gets compensated for their art. And I do try to buy legally licensed art only where I can. I have a few older ones that I bought right at the start of my diamond painting journey where I wasn't familiar with this. But generally speaking, most of the art I do is from places like Diamond Art Club now, or similar places. Anyway, I digress. So they're a large company, and they announced recently on their Facebook page that they have been around. I think they were saying their first order was placed exactly 4 years ago on Friday. So to celebrate this, they are releasing 50 paintings all on Friday and Saturday. I say 2 dates because they have a release date for their diamond and ruby tier customers, which you get to when you've spent a certain amount of money with them, and then one that's general release for everyone on Saturday. So they've been teasing those all week. They're releasing 10 sneak peeks a day where they just put a picture of the painting on their Facebook page. And they've also said that there will be some surprises. So interested to see what that will be. Could be maybe a discount code, could well be that there are more paintings that they haven't trailed during the week, because they've done that to us before, like Black Friday, where they showed us loads of paintings in the build up to Black Friday, and that was good enough. But then when it came to it, they suddenly released a load more. So a little nervous for my bank account come Friday, because I've already seen several that I would like. I'm going to keep myself to just 2, I think, 2 or 3 max. I have some reward points stored up, so I'm not going to buy more than I can get with those, because it's been an expensive month. Ooh, there's one still in there. But yeah, it's an exciting thing in the diamond painting community. So there's lots of Facebook groups for diamond painting. I'm sure I'm preaching to the converted here, and a lot of people who might have found their way to this video will know that this is the case, so bear with me. But not everyone will have done. So if you're not aware, there's lots of really good Facebook groups out there for diamond painting. And that's what, oh dear, I'm spilling them everywhere. That's what I mean by the diamond painting community, that there are places on Facebook where you can go and chat to other people who share your love of diamond painting. You can learn tips and skills. You can find new artwork that you would like, because sometimes you see a painting on the company's website and you're like, meh, I don't need that. And then when you see the one that someone has completed, you realize that you misjudged it and actually you really would enjoy that artwork. I did that with a painting called Winter Solace. The artist is Abraham Hunter, and it's a Diamond Art Club piece that was released on Black Friday. And I didn't think I needed it because it was a lot of the same colours, and I just thought it would be too samey for me. But then when people started putting up pictures of their completed works, I think it's one of the most beautiful diamond paintings I've ever seen. So next time that gets restocked, I really want that. So yeah, anyway, in the diamond painting community, in these various Facebook groups, and in particular in Diamond Art Club's Facebook group, there's a lot of buzz and a lot of excitement about all the paintings that are coming out, what the surprises might be, and it just adds a bit of fun, I think, to the hobby. Obviously, it's not necessary. Obviously, it's not for everyone. But if you're the kind of person who is on YouTube looking for diamond painting videos to watch, it may well be something that you would like. Right, so I've just got a few colours left that I need to start new storage bags for. So I have some sticky labels, which again I just bought on Amazon. And some baggies. So I'm going to write out my label colours, and all I write on there is the DMC colour code and just a little DAC to tell me that it is a Diamond Art Club drill bag, just in case I ever get them muddled. I do keep them separate, so I have a bag for DAC rounds, a bag for DAC squares, a bag for Dreamer Design squares, and so on and so forth. I'm surprised by how many colours were in this painting that I already had a drill bag for, because I've not done that many paintings. I think this is about the 17th painting I've completed, but obviously not all of those are from Diamond Art Club. I suppose it shows that, well, some colours are just a lot more common than others. Diamond drill colours are based on DMC colour codes. DMC colour codes being used for things like floss and threads, and for things like cross stitch. But not every colour code that DMC has will be a diamond code. And obviously not every diamond code that exists is actually used for diamonds that often. So what have we got here? 127. So let me get myself organised to do this again. This is, if you can see the drills there, You see the extra sparkle on those? This is one of the AB drills that Diamond Art Club put in this kit. AB stands for Aurora Borealis drills. And what they are drills that have an extra coating on the top. So all of the drills in this kit were super shiny and pretty. But if I just shake these out to show you a bit more, you can see Aurora Borealis drills just have this coating on the top. And what that does is it really reflects the light that shines off the drills around it, that shines onto the painting, and it adds an extra level of sparkle, which is used generally very cleverly to just to add detail to the painting, to add what's the word I'm looking for, to emphasize certain parts and draw your eye to them more, to add sparkle where something is that bit more sparkly in the original painting. Here's the other one for you too. So there were two of those in this painting. There was the pinky peach one that I've just done that was used in the buildings to reflect, to show the kind of the sunlight reflecting off the buildings, and also quite a lot in the part of the sea that was supposed to be where the sun was shining, because as you can imagine, if you're looking out at the sea and it's sunset, it's very shiny and the light's glinting off it. And the other one, the orangey one that I just did, was used a lot in the rocky part, like below the buildings. The bit that I was explaining is like this mountainous rocky area. And again, it was the sunlight glinting off it. So they were very nice in the painting. I mentioned before that I've been to Santorini. So back in 2019, my parents had their golden wedding anniversary, and they decided to take our whole family on a holiday of a lifetime really, which was a cruise around the Greek islands. And when I say whole family, I think there were 16 of us on the trip. So I'm one of 4 siblings, so obviously my parents. 3 of us are married, myself and my 2 sisters. And all of us have kids, or at least 1 kid. So there were quite a lot of us. And it was such a brilliant experience. Like, I don't get to go on holidays with my family often. We don't live in the same place. We're all at different ages and stages. And the kids, like the cousins, they get on really well, despite the fact there's quite a wide age range. They range from 8 to 19 at the moment. But they all had an absolute whale of a time being together with cousins. So we were on this cruise for a week, and we stopped off at, I think, 5 different Greek islands. And it was just perfect because, I mean, you could go on organised tours and things. We actually didn't do that. We just got off every day and had a little wander. And Santorini was the first island we stopped at. And it's so impressive when you get there because, like I said, it's like this really steep, rocky side to the island. And then the town is sort of perched on top. So you can climb up. I am a wimp, so we did not consider that. So we all took the cable car up, which was annoyingly expensive actually, because Santorini is quite a tourist hotspot, let's face it. And you know what happens when somewhere gets a lot of attention from tourists, all the prices go up. But anyway, we went up the cable car and that was fun. And it was this beautiful sunny day in July, these wonderful blue skies. So we really saw Santorini in all its glory, where you see the white buildings and the blue roofs set off against the sky. And it was lovely. It was a wonderful start to the holiday. It actually wasn't my favourite island that we went to. I would say Actually, they were all so different. So we went to Mykonos, which is probably one of the prettier islands that we went to, in my opinion. Again, lots of lovely white buildings and narrow cobbled streets. And, oh, it's just gorgeous. Mykonos, I learned, is like the party island where the rich and famous go. Not that we saw any of the rich and famous, and not that we are rich or famous ourselves. So some of the prices were a little bit steep for us. But that was a lovely island. I did really enjoy wandering around there. And then where else did we go? So we went to Rhodes. That I think was possibly a favourite. And the lovely thing about the Greek islands is all of the ones we went to at least had a really different feel to them. So Rhodes had a very different feel to Mykonos, which had a different feel to Santorini. Rhodes was more sort of a pinky beige building feel. There's some lovely little markets and shops. There was a sort of castle thing up at the top of the hill that we climbed up to in the heat. There was a lovely harbour area. So that was one I really enjoyed. And then where else was there? There was Crete, which was one of the bigger islands, I think, and one where you get off in a port type area and then actually get a bus over to the city, which is Chania. And that was nice. We went swimming in the sea there, had a really nice lunch, had a really nice wander around, did a little bit of shopping. So yeah, that was good, different feel again. And there was also, we stopped at, what was it called? Is it Catalonia? No, that doesn't feel right. Okay, I'm not sure what the last one was. We actually, my little family of my husband, my son and I didn't get off on that day because this was nearing the end of the trip. And our son was 5 at the time. And he was getting a little tired of wandering around these towns. And also, when you're on a cruise ship, there's all these exciting things that they put on, this entertainment. And we hadn't really done a lot of that because we'd been getting off the boat every day. So we stayed on that day and saw a magician doing some card tricks by the pool, which my son really enjoyed. Oop. Sticky label on my finger there. So yeah, it was such a beautiful, wonderful holiday, really special memories. And obviously, given what happened the following year with COVID, I'm so glad that their anniversary fell in 2019. It was actually a special anniversary for my husband's family that year as well, because his parents had been together, well, had been married rather, for 40 years. And they also wanted to take their side of the family on holiday that year, but we didn't manage to fit it all in that year. And we haven't gone on that holiday yet. We're hopefully going this summer. So yeah, we were very, very lucky because I'm not sure that my parents would be able to do the cruise now, health-wise. So I think it's one of those special memories that just happened at the perfect time for our family. And it was wonderful. I loved it. And that was why I had to do this painting, as well as it just being a pretty picture in any case. Okay. Last drill pot. That didn't take too long. So, let's get myself organised so I have my leftover labels and bags. That I'll put away in this storage pouch I use. I've got my rubbish. Put my tray out of the way. And the last thing that I do is just make a note of the DMC colour name on my spreadsheet. So I will do that quickly now. and then I'll be done. To do this, I'll be using this DMC colour chart book that I picked up on Amazon. I think it only cost about £5. There aren't any colour names for the top two because they were Aurora Borealis, which have a slightly different DMC code, which is, so Diamond Art Club does DMC codes under 150 to be ABs, but that won't necessarily translate to another company. So I'll just put pale pink AB and orange AB. And then I will just scroll down, look for any gaps and fill them in from my book. Okay, that's me all done. So I'll save this. And that's me done for this kitting down. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you liked the look of the art, I will put a link in the description box so you can purchase that on Diamond Art Club's website if you think you'd like to try it. It was a beautiful painting. I thoroughly recommend it. There was very little trash in the drills. I had enough, as you saw. I had leftovers of every single colour. And it was very, very enjoyable to do. Also quite quick. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. As I said at the start, if you did enjoy this video and you would like to support this channel in growing, if you can like the video, and if you would like to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, that would be ever so much appreciated. So thank you very much for your time. Bye.